we have here is the Mercedes AMG GT63, and it is an absolute animal. We got 295 tires up front, 305 tires in the rear. We have carbon ceramic brakes, which are an $8,950 option. And this car is $211,000. So, you know, no pressure, but let's go for a drive. And first things first, turn on the Sport Plus mode, which also turns the exhaust on. This video is brought to you by HP Tuners. Here's the deal. HP Tuners is the most user-friendly tuning software and data logging software out there. And I've been using HP Tuners for years, probably a decade by now, on my Coyote Swap 246 and my 2013 Mustang GT Smurf. HP Tuners makes things incredibly easy, using the most sophisticated OBD interface out there, the MPVI3. All you have to do is plug in your MPVI3, hook it up to your laptop, and you are good to go. And of course, you can use this data to tweak your tune to perfection. So whenever I need to data log, tweak things, or just check in on my motor's health, HP Tuners has my back. I personally use HP Tuners on my Ford products, but they have a whole list of brands that are compatible with their software and their tools. So make sure to head over to hptuners.com today with the link in the description below and let them know that I sent you. And check out HP Tuners for yourself and your project. Thank you guys so much for listening, and on to the video. Oh! Seatbelt just tightened up on me. If I were to describe the AMG GT63 to somebody who isn't familiar with one of these cars, but they're very much into other cars, the way I would describe it is if you took an American Dodge Viper with the long nose and short butt, give it the hips of a Porsche 911, and the torque of an American muscle car. It's also all-wheel drive. Oh yeah. When I think of a German car, what do I think of? I think of refinement and perfection. With BMW, I think of the M2, the M3, the M4, and precision driving, the ultimate driving machine that can also be a normal car very well. When I think of Audi, I think of their rally history, their quattro all-wheel drive system, 5-cylinder turbos that are ferocious. When I think of Porsche, I think of literal perfection. When I think of AMG, I think of fun. They are the company that knows how to have fun. So I just looked up the gas mileage. It's great. 13 miles per gallon in the city and 20 highway. You know you're getting yourself into, dude. And I drove the previous generation of this car, the AMG GT. Didn't get to drive the GTR, but the AMG GT, in the very limited time I did get to drive it, I called it the German Viper, and that's what kind of stuck with me. Woo! That is crazy. We have 577 horsepower. Okay. Oh my God. Brakes. You know you're getting older as a car reviewer when you start to appreciate the brakes more than the horsepower, because you can have your fun with that horsepower if you have the brakes. German V8s have always had this very deep snarl. Like, you have your Coyotes with more of that high pitch raspiness, more high revving. You have the Lexus LC500 and all the cars that have that 5-liter. Lower torque, but higher RPM. Then you have your LSs and your LTs from America as well, which are punchy down low. The AMGs have always had a very signature V8 sound, and they're hand built. And of course, they have to have the plaque on the engine itself, so that guy can get his credit where credit is due. This car has one of the best turn-ins I have felt all year. When I turn this wheel 0.5 centimeters, the car starts turning. You have this long hood, but you have a nice heads-up display. The interior is a really nice place to be. I mean, a really nice place to be. However, I can definitely see a lot of people would not like this center console tablet thing. In fact, it looks so much like an iPad or whatever tablet, it looks like you could almost remove it from the center. But that also means it's very user-friendly and it's easy to use, it's easy to understand. For modes, I can just click this wheel right here. I'm back into comfort mode. Then I turn it once, I'm in sport mode. I turn it again, I'm in sport plus. I turn it one more time, I am in track mode. It also has a nose lift system, which should be absolutely standard with every car or supercar that is this expensive. It always shocks me when it's not. Downshifts give you that nice snarl and burble, but it's not overly obnoxious. Slow down for y'all for a sec so you can get the sound. Yeah, buddy. It's got a digital dash, which is now just becoming kind of standard nowadays. I remember when digital dashes were a feature or an option. Now it's just kind of the industry standard. You feel extraordinarily confident in this thing. It is heavier than the last generation because it has the all-wheel drive. It's gotten a little bit bigger. However, I think it kind of makes up for it because of how dynamic it feels. Like, it is just insane what this thing can do. Outrageous. We also have a 9-speed automatic transmission. The seats and the diamond stitching and everything feels premium. There's not really anything in this interior that screams at me saying they cut corners on that. You could argue the screen, because it's just like, just throw a screen in there. You could argue that, but other than that, it's it's a nice car. Steering wheel, tons of buttons, can be kind of intimidating at first, but it's actually a touchpad steering wheel. So when you do the volume and everything like that, you touch it. You don't press down for the most part, unless you want to kind of mute your audio or something. But I noticed that you basically gently graze it. You don't really swipe it like your phone. You just kind of gently graze it with the tip of your thumb, and you got it. Also, this car is an absolute stunner. Everybody that's come up to me today has been like, oh my God, what is that? Sometimes being mistaken for a Porsche from the back, right? I don't really see it from the front. I definitely see it from the back. The back of the car has these massive hips to fit those 305s. And also the brakes, like I said earlier, absolutely crazy. The brakes are insane in this thing. You are going to stop. Also, this is absolutely a windows down car. I think the experience is a lot more engaging when the windows are at least cracked open. I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but it just doesn't hit the same when you're just in this cabin. But with the window up right now just for my talking bits. Sound system sounds great. It better when it's this expensive. Small thing, I really like the shelf that's behind me. It is a 2-seater sports car, but it is really nice for my camera bag and my stuff to have that shelf right behind me. Now, let's get into the V8 itself. It is a bi-turbo 4-liter V8, and it has all the sauce. I do think the transmission could be faster. I think that's the one mechanical thing I'm noticing that I kind of wish was a little different. Woo! So yes, it is fast. The power is aggressive. It sounds the part. It looks the part. But I think surprisingly, what shocks me more about this car is the handling. The handling of this thing is really what sells me on this thing, because I could be cruising in kind of a neutral zone. Neutral zone meaning no gas, no brakes, all 4 tires. You know, the load transfer is nice and even. I'm not working hard, but I think there's 2 types of cars that are really fun as a sports car. They're the sports cars that you work really hard to drive and it's actually fun, and then they're the ones where you work really hard and it's not fun. This kind of meets in the middle to where it's still engaging, still hits you in the face with the horsepower, but if you want to go on a mountain road or just take some curvy roads and casually drive it at a pretty decent speed, this car does it so well. You barely turn in. You cruise around that corner, you know it's probably gonna do it if you use proper driving technique. It is one of those cars you have enormous confidence in while also having a big fat smile on your face. The problem is when you get into this price range, you have some really good options, including one that starts with a P. Porsche. Should you take the V8 car that is kind of silly, but also has character, or you have the ultra precise Porsche 911 GT3. That is a hard thing for me to even choose. This daily driving, 100% the Mercedes. But when it comes to every other moment, I'd probably take the Porsche. But this is ultimate first world problems we're talking about. You're talking about a guy who drives literal boxes most of the time, like 240s and old JDM cars for review, not typically stuff like this, right? This car, I do appreciate for what it does. Most people who buy this car are gonna love this car. You'd think with this very low roofline, kind of small windows, stuff like that, it would be really hard to drive around, park, back up. No, it's easy. Plus, it has 360-degree cameras, so it's all good. Oh yeah, this is also a very weird one. The door handles are really cool. So you walk up to it, door handles pop out as long as you have the key in your pocket or if you hit the unlock button. Just a fun little fact. Like I said earlier, the more I drive it, the more I kind of wish that the transmission was a little faster. It's a little jerky sometimes, I've noticed. We live in a world of PDK, that's the problem, and ZF transmissions that we're all so used to now. But have I had a ton of fun in this car? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. AMG GT63, it has been a long time since I reviewed a modern Mercedes. I have really enjoyed this car. It checks so many boxes. And also, like always, in a car like this, you make so many people's day, and they want to just know everything about it. And I live for that. Some people find that annoying. I absolutely love it. On that note, what do you guys think of the GT63? Let me know in the comment section below. On that note, thank you so much. Hit that like button. See you next time, and take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.